Hi, it's Darlene from Scrappin', Stampin' and Inkin' by Dardee. And this evening I'm going to try to keep a promise that I made to quite a few crafters and my crafting friends on Facebook. When I had made this doghouse, I had quite a few ladies ask me how I made it. Well, now I'm going to try and show you how I made it. When I created this, I knew what I wanted the outcome to be, but I had no instructions or videos to watch. I knew that I was going to make this from the Graphic 45 ATC book box, but I wanted a roof on it. I didn't know how I was going to accomplish that, and I played with it. I knew how I had to have it high. I knew I didn't want it glued because once it was opened, it wouldn't be able to turn the pages, so it had to be made so it wasn't attached to it. So my roof does come off, and it's not solid inside. It fits right on top, so that made it a little bit easier that I knew that this had to be my inside measurement. And I knew how high I wanted to make it, so that helped with the measurement for my roof. And that, so I hope with what I'm going to be showing you and telling you that you can follow it. I don't know if it's right, wrong, or what, but it worked for me. So if you're willing to give it a try, I'm willing to try to tell you how I did it. Okay, first of all, I did sit down and I made a diagram for you. I'm going to try to put these two papers that I have below the tutorial here. This one is a photo of the page, and that size is 7.5 by 6. And then at the bottom here, I have what would end up being our bottom pocket. On this page, I have the measurements that I used for my roof. And I have the very top of the roof and the inside cover. The top of the roof, I'm talking about this paper here that I used. And the inside measurement is what I used to cover the parts that showed after I glued the front and the back of the roof, or whatever you call those things. Okay, so when I started, I knew that I was going to make it from the ATC book box. So I went and I made mine out of black because that's what I had. I took my craft knife, or utility knife, and I sliced down as straight as I could on one side, turned it around, and did the same to the other. Now the bottom, this will be a little bit loose. I very gently went along this a couple different times, and then on this side, the opposite side, you do not want to cut through. This here part in the middle, this is your lid. This part will be your spine. This is where we're going to attach our pages. In mine, I made 4 pages, and I really feel that that is too thick. And besides that, I doubt if you're going to have that many small pages of your pad. If you do, well, you'll have to make 2. Anyway, I'm just going to show you how we're going to do 3. And like I said, this is going to be your spine here. This is what you're going to attach your spine to. And now we will talk about the pages. But first I want to tell you, as far as the box, I decorated the lid part on the outside here. I did the inside. I did go and put a piece of paper on the spine here and on the back. Naturally, you're going to want to go ahead and decorate this. I did this with a wood grain paper to make it look like a doghouse. The door here, I just used a punch and cut out some black paper and stuck on there. I finished the back, and I had some moss from another project I had worked on before, and I just added it to look like grass, or hoped that it looked like grass. Anyway, I had these little puppy or dog buttons that I nipped off the backs and glued them on there. So I was very tickled with it. Okay, so then what I need you to do is go ahead and decorate this any way you want. We'll get on to the pages. We're going to make 3 of these, and they are 7.5 by 6. On the 6-inch side, we're going to score in half at 3 inches the whole way down. We're going to rotate it, and we're going to score 3 3/4 inches on the 7.5-inch side. Then you're going to take this like this, and on this one paper, it does show you where you're going to cut. Those are your score lines, and we're going to cut across here. Okay, just cut to the, do not cut through your middle score line there. And after you fold and burnish all this, and that's cut, we're going to go and fold it over. We're going to push one side that's, you have 2 flaps here. You're going to push one to the back and one to the front, so that you end up with, there's 4 pages here. Well, there's going to be 6, but we have the front flap, and then this. We have this with a fold at the top, and it's open here. We're going to make a little pocket to put on the bottom here, so that will give us 2 pages, and then we have this. Now, when I was talking about the bottom pocket, again, I have it on here where it's a piece that's 3 inches by 4 inches, and you're going to score it in half at 1.5 along the 3-inch side, and then you're going to score a 1/2 inch on both of the 4-inch sides. And then I want you to go and cut out that V. I'm sure almost all of you have already done something like this. We're going to fold this over and fold in our score marks. This is what is placed then on the bottom of our folded sheet with the 2 flaps to the left and the folded part to the right. You're going to take this and attach this pocket to the bottom so that it will look like this. You will have a page here. You'll have the pocket. Then you're going to have a side pocket here. When this is turned over, you'll have a bottom pocket, a page, and then another page. So that gives you 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you want to put, I'm going to show you what I did on this sample part. This is my book once I have my pocket down here. I don't know if you can see that. Pocket here, there's a flap here. Get this in camera here. First time I've done this, okay. All right, now you can make this corner pocket, and the corner pocket would be 3 1/4 by 3. And then you are going to score a 1/2 inch on 2 of the sides. On the 3-inch side, I measured up a 1/2 inch, and on the 3 1/4 side, I measured over a 1/2 inch, and I drew a line, and that's where I'm going to cut that. That will give me my corner pocket, because I'll glue these 2 ends that I miter and fold back and burnish, if that makes sense. I'm sorry. If you want to put a belly band on, your belly band would be 1 inch by 4 inches, and you would score a 1/2 inch on each of the 4-inch sides, fold back and burnish, and then what I did here, I glued that on my 1 page. If you want to put a side pocket on, you need a piece that is 1 1/2 inches by 4 inches and 3/4, and you would score a 1/2 inch on each of the 4 3/4 sides. You would burnish that, fold it and burnish it, and then attach it to a page. So what I've done here, I put a corner pocket on my first page, I put a belly band on my second. This is probably, I have my corner pocket here, a belly band on my second page, my bottom pocket on my third. I have my side pull-out pocket here that I can put something in. Turn that over, and on my fourth page, I have another bottom pocket. This one I left plain, and on the back, I have a side pocket. Then, and I'm sure you know this here, this is where we would attach it to our hinge. And being that this page is 3 3/4, when we make our hinge, then I should have been ready for this. I went and made my first score line. Excuse me just a moment. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I should have been much more prepared for this. It's just that I'm so excited to get it over with. I'm so nervous doing this. Okay. For this, I measured, being that our page is, 3 3/4. I have it at 3 5/8. So, I'm going to burnish. I'm going to score at 1 1/4 inches, 1 1/2, and I only want 3 hinges. And I'm going to make each of those a 1/2 inch, and my gusset I need to be a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to score every 1/2 inch, so it will be 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/2, 3, 3 1/2, 4, 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, and then another 1/4 inch would make it 5 1/4. And how I do it for my score tape in that, I start with a 1/4 inch that I make, and I put my 1/4 inch score tape on there. Then I put on the first 1/2 inch, I put a score tape, because the first 2/2 inches is going to be my hinge. The next 1/2 inch is going to be my gusset. And then again, the next 2 is my hinge, my gusset, my hinge, and then the 1/4 inch that I need. So I go and I put on my 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch. I skip, put 2 more 1/2 inches on, skip, and then put 2 more on, skip, and put my 1/4 inch. To me, this was the easiest. I have 2 skip, 2 skip, 2 skip. Okay. And that's after I go ahead and fold these. First, I'm folding them. I missed a step. I'm going to fold it on the score lines, and I'm going to burnish it. Turn it over and put my score tape on. So then when I take my score tape off, I will be able to, I wasn't going to do this. When I take off my first 1/2 inch, I'll be able to fold that over to the one that does not have the tape on, burnish it, fold it back and burnish, take off the next 1/2 inch. Hope I'm in camera. I'm sorry, you don't take off the next 1/2 inch. You leave that 1/2 inch on. It's the second one you take off. I'm sorry, because this is, and if I totally messed you up, I am so sorry. In fact, if I can take this, there. The first one, go with what I said the first time. This is the second time. And I don't know what happened to my tape. Here it is. Okay. So oh, if you do this after I'm done, God love you. Okay. I can do this in my sleep. This is terrible. And then, let me see. We're going to leave that one on. We're going to take off this next one. And we're going to bend that over, burnish, fold it up, then fold this back, skip that one, take off the next one. After we take that very first one off, we skip that one. That's where I messed up down here. Anyway, it'll be like this. There's so many wonderful crafters out there that show the perfect way to do these. And they really are so simple. I'm making this more complicated than it should be because I'm nervous and I'm so sorry. But anyway, it will end up like this. And if you're going to make this, I'm sure you've made hinges and that. So, like I said, once your papers are all on here, this here will be placed gently in the middle here, but we want to make sure that you have equal space on both sides here, on both sides of your hinges. And once your page is on this hinge, you want to make sure that the page on the hinge is going to be able to fit with a little bit of room at the top and the bottom of each page inside there. So this is one of our finished pages, and it would slip right onto the hinge. Like that, and that's placed there, so then it would go right through here like this. And as far, let's get on with the roof. That'll be a little bit easier, I think, I hope. Anyway, for the roof. The measurement for the roof is a piece of cardstock that's 4 3/4 by 2 inches. And what I did with that is that I measured up. This is my 4 3/4 inches by 2 inches. I measured up a 1/2 inch and put a little tick mark on both sides at the bottom there. I measured down from the middle and put a tick mark for the middle. I cut that V out and I scored from that tick mark down to this 1/2 inch tick mark down here and folded this over so that then it looks like this. The piece of the roof here is 4 inches by 7 inches. And what I did was I put it in my score board. It's 4 inches across the top, and I scored 1/4 of an inch on both sides. Turned it around and did the same. I folded it in half on the score mark and I burnished it. I took the roof part here, or the side, the front, and the back. You're going to make 2 of these. I put glue all on this piece here and all along this piece. Turned it over, and this line here I matched up. My score mark went in the middle, and you keep those score marks on the score marks that you put on the roof so that it would be like this. Then once you have both of those in, the front and the back, this piece that will cover up the glued in part will measure 3.5 by 6.5, and you score that in half and fold it, and it will be like this. So you're going to have this front piece here, and you're going to have a back piece, and then this here will fit down and cover over both of those pieces that you put in there. See how this fits in here? Those will be those 2 pieces that you're putting in right here. Like this. Then this piece is going to go on top to cover over these 2 wings that are off of this piece here. Then you can go ahead and cut a piece the same size as the top here of the wood grain or whatever you're going to put on there, whether you're going to put little shingles or whatever, and put that on and cover your front and you're done. I hope this helped. I'm going to listen to this before I really put it on YouTube and see how messed up I did this. And if it really, really is bad, I'm going to really consider doing it again. And I'm so sorry, but we'll see what happens. If not, I want to thank you for letting me take the time to share this with you. And good grief, if you have any questions, please get in touch with me and I'll try to talk you through it. And thank you for having the patience to put up with me. I love scrapbooking, and I mean, I knew what I wanted when I made the doghouse. I just, didn't think it was going to be so hard to explain it. But anyway, thank you, and I will be in touch. Bye-bye.